At 35, has dating gotten easier for you or harder?
Easier.
Why is that?
I care about myself a little more. Before, I was more thinking about what everybody else wants, and then that wasn't working. So now I know what I want, so it's easier.
Do you think a man is more likely to take you serious now at 35 than when you were 23?
I think it's the same. I don't see a difference.
So what do you think men prefer?
It all depends. Some men like women that are independent and they can go at the same level with them to do things. Other men just like vulnerable women that can be with them for like a few hours and then get rid of them. So it all depends on where they are.
So what do you look for in a guy in Miami?
Oh, nothing. I don't even date here. I go to Europe or some other like somewhere outside of Miami. Miami's a whole different world because there's so many women. And they're so easy and it's like so like available that it's pointless.
Do you find that you're competing a lot with the younger woman?
Nah, they had nothing on me.
Okay. At 35, has dating gotten easier for you or harder?
Easier.
Can somebody please explain to me, why do men want to believe that women over the age of 35 are desperate, pressed, and jealous of younger women? Why do men want to believe that women over the age of 35 are miserable and unhappy? Why do y'all want to believe that so bad? Oh, right, I know. Because that's how y'all feel if y'all over the age of 35 and single. Stop projecting and stop trying to paint a narrative that younger women and older women are in competition. I said this before and I'll say it again. Women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are still dating, are still getting married, are still getting men. And the thing that y'all forget is that women over the age of 35 was once women in our 20s. So we've been there. We know what it's like. And if you ask most of us, will we go back to that time? You couldn't pay us to go back to that time. You know why? Because in your 20s, you're still figuring shit out. Once you're over the age of 35 and around in your 40s, you figure shit out. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. You know what you will tolerate and what you will not. You no longer have the desire to have children. So you're not hunting for that. So you get to enjoy dating a lot more. So younger women and older women are not in competition, and all younger women are going to become older women. So why would older women be envious? I don't know why y'all want us to be miserable so bad, but we out here living our best life. Trust me, we out here living our best life. We out here living our best fucking life. Pipe down and stop projecting.
Woke up in the middle of the night and I noticed.
Being a woman is already considered a crime since the history of patriarchy. From the time of a girl's puberty, she's seen as a temptress to men. Some are even accused of being witches and burned at the stake just because they are different from others. What a girl wears and how she speaks are criticized before she learns what femininity means. By the time she becomes a full-grown woman and decides she wants to be single for life, she becomes more dangerous to society compared to mothers and wives. Let's not talk about the sexual abuse and social degradation women endure because of our gender, or the fact that women have no right over their bodies. It's as if being a woman is a crime. But guess what? Modern women are criminalizing themselves even more, and they cannot be convicted twice. At 38, I'm so happy I can no longer be exploited by men. Now I feel more entitled than ever to have my freedom. If the dude can't comprehend, he can hit the door.
You know who the smart women are? They're the ones that are single but really want to be with someone, but who refuse to lower their standard even though it's costing them a lot. See, these women, they know who they are and they deserve to be applauded. Anyone can be in a miserable relationship to ease the...
Just recently, a guy I was crushing on decided to man up and ask me out. You know, as a miserable single woman, this guy was doing me a favor since I have no one to take care of me. That's right. Men are deluded to think single women are miserable, so I decided to indulge this one. He felt high and mighty until I unleashed my demons. Dinner was great. I had my fill at sushi bar. I made sure to pick the most expensive food and wine in the menu. I'm miserable after all. I need to cool my frustration with all the happy things I can get. I kept ordering more food and eating bites out of it. The frittata was too good, I almost ordered a second plate. Their maki is the best I have had so far. We ordered different recipes, but my favorite was the sushi maki roll. Mr. Goody Two Shoes was surprised that this miserable lady had a fantastic taste. He was quite the gentleman and didn't complain as I made unnecessary demands about my food choices. Or maybe he was putting on a brave face to hide his insecurities. "Oh, this wine is horrible. I think it's expired," I said after drinking one glass of the exotic wine. To be fair, I think that wine was really cheap, but they marked up the price to $120. I ordered a second bottle from a different brand. This one I managed to drink half the bottle before complaining that it was making me obnoxious. I requested we go to another diner. I wasn't done getting over my misery and the guy was getting cocky. I mean, what else can a miserable woman do other than eat and drink to forget her misery? The waiter came with our bill. A smile crowned my lips as I saw the guy's face turn red. He was contemplating whether to pay the bill alone or have me contribute. "Come on, honey, you are getting dramatic. You know how lonely and frustrated these past weeks have been for me. You are the first person to make me happy in a long, long time," I said, looking as innocent and disappointed as a toddler about to lose her candy. He finally had the confidence to pay and paid the $2,630 bill, including the parking lot and tips. I could sense he was cursing me from inside. As we got to the car, about going to our next restaurant, he got a call. He said he was urgently needed at home. His friend, who was also his business partner, was waiting for him to discuss something. I didn't hear their conversation over the phone, but I suspected he used the call as an excuse to cancel. I bought his lies. But my miserable self wasn't satiated. I kept waiting for another opportunity to feed my unquenchable monster. Unfortunately, this guy didn't talk to me after that night. He went zombie on me. I sent him a text to know when we'll meet next. He ignored me. We didn't communicate until after 4 weeks and 5 days. Yes, I was counting. Even though I didn't contact him all this time, I was still hoping he would come back. When he finally called, I pretended to be surprised. Of course, I had to act real. But I expressed my interest to see him again. He wanted us to meet at some low-key spot. I lied that I was out of town. I told him I had lodged at Indigo Resort and that I needed to get away because of stress and loneliness. He asked when I would be coming back, and I said I won't be in Houston for a while. But he can join me at the resort and I will pay for his flight if he seriously wants to see me. He jumped at my offer. I booked our flights to San Diego. But my date was a day earlier, so I would be there before he arrived. I made reservations for a couple's spa treatment and arranged for a special dinner date. I even went on a limb to get him a gift, an $1,800 Versace watch. I could tell he was overwhelmed by my gesture. I was having fun myself. I got drunk that night, and this guy thought it was a perfect opportunity to get sex from me. He must have confused my actions, or maybe he just expected sex as part of my benevolence. When we got to his room, I said goodnight and went to my bedroom. He tried to stop me, decorating my neck and face with kisses to get me turned on. I pushed him away and told him to not ruin my day with his selfish demand. That straightened him up a bit. I already made a sacrifice to pay for this trip so he wouldn't think I owe him anything. But to my surprise, he wanted more. Over brunch, he apologized for misbehaving last night. He said he had been thinking of telling me how he feels, but was scared I would turn him down. He said he wanted our relationship to be more than just friendship. He wanted me to consider the possibility of marrying him, so he wants us to start with a permanent relationship. He even offered to be my sperm donor, since having another child will make me feel less miserable. How rude of him. I was slightly offended that he used marriage to entice me. But I waved that anger away because I wasn't going to allow his selfishness to get in my happiness. We spent 3 days at the hotel, but I made sure the memories were unforgettable. As for his proposal and offer, I didn't think about it, nor did I revisit the conversation. I'm tired of repeating the same thing to people like him who think women are desperate for marriage. Society makes single women miserable. Single women are not miserable because they don't have a husband or child. We are miserable because we have to endure people's opinions that are contrary to ours. We are frustrated for repeating the same thing over and over again, that our happiness lies in our freedom of uncompromised attention to ourselves. We are frustrated because society can't seem to understand that taking care of a pet is less of a burden than taking care of a husband or child, and they continue to impose family structure on us. Single women are miserable for living an uncompromising life and giving themselves priority over anything else. But it also makes us happier. Just like biological parents are having fun raising their kids, despite the frustration of paying their child's insurance and sacrificing me time for their children's well-being. Single women are also having fun despite not having anyone to care for. Even though statistics prove that parents are less happy than non-parents, and that children lower life quality, single women keep getting embarrassed by mothers who think they are more worthy of their womanhood. Another study shows that single women are 10x happier than married women, and the fact that no one approves of single women's happiness is more depressing than loneliness. I'm so miserable that thought of marriage makes me sick. Do you know what's more terrifying than raising a child? Putting up with a man's ego. The nerve of men to expect women to be the perfect loyal partner forever when they cannot stay loyal for more than 12 months in the marriage. Some will even betray you on the wedding day with your bridesmaid. Life is miserable for everyone in one way or the other. Mothers and fathers don't have it easier than spinsters and bachelors. We all face challenges in some aspect of our lives. From all indications, it appears that single women are intentionally shamed because they reject social expectations of women. Society thinks by shaming women for being single, all women will be forced to return to patriarchal standards. Somehow I'm relieved that I was born after the feminist movement began. This gives me more power to resist social pressure, knowing that being selfish is a prerequisite to happiness. According to statistics, single men are more unhappy than single women, yet, no one shames single men. So next time someone tries to pity me for being single, I will assure them that I'm so miserable that their words fall on deaf ears. And now that researchers have proven that being single and childless makes you richer, I might just forget my desire to have a son and bank more money for my retirement and live a fabulously rich, miserable life.
That's it for today. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and smash the notification bell so you don't miss my next video.